Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe, and today we take a look at some RGB fans with a difference. PC fans come in all different sizes and styles. Some are plain, some are swimming in RGB, and some are designed for aesthetics, whilst others are more for performance. However, the one thing that they all share is the same squared off shape, which means that they can be mounted either singly or as a cluster of fans. Which is fine, but then you get the housing to contend with, and on a custom system that has a lot of attention to details everywhere else, then those housings can stand out and look just plain ugly. Well, Antec have found a perfect solution for this problem and created the Prizm dual fans. With no ugly housing, joins or extra cables to contend with, they could really be on to a winning idea here. As usual here at Gadget Joe, we're going to focus our attention to the unboxing experience before we take a look at the Prism unit itself. The box is nicely presented with bright, vivid colours and images throughout. On the front is an image of a Prizm Matrix itself and a list of the compatible RGB suites along the bottom. On the sides you get the Antec logo, and on the rear you get a bit more information, including some specifications of the Matrix to the left, and then some more images including an airflow graph and then a picture of the fan control box too. Opening it up, you are presented with a black foam sheet. Remove it and you get the Prizm Matrix itself sat nice and proud. Take it out and you can really begin to appreciate just how unique the product is, but also how attractive and compact it is too. Underneath this you get a two-section part in another foam sheet. First of all you get the RGB Fan Controller, and underneath this you get a sticky velcro pad to mount the controller in your case. A bag of mounting screws, an RGB gigabyte sync cable, two PWM fan cables, and that's pretty much it. Before we look at the Matrix, let's take a look at the controller. It is a small unit that features Antec's traditional angular designs with an Antec logo imprinted in the middle. This controller can not only control up to 5 PWM fans, but also up to 5 additional LED strips or lights. Across the top you get 5 fan headers in a row that will fit 4 PWM connectors. To the right of the unit you get a PWM fan header next to an LED control header. Along the bottom you get another 5 ports to allow additional lighting using Antec's 3-pin connectors. Power is delivered to the controller via a SATA power connector on the left. On the front you get a mode button to cycle through the light modes, and to the left an LED speed button. Now let's finally turn our attention to the Prizm Matrix itself, and the first question on our minds is what is its purpose? Well, with this new unit you get the dual 120mm fans set into one rectangular piece that houses not only the fans but also some LED lighting that can all be controlled via one single cable. This in turn not only cleans up cable management but also cleans up the aesthetic of the fans by eliminating the unsightly fan housing and joins that we're used to. The Matrix is a stunning looking device that features sturdy, well made black plastics and gunmetal metal plating wrapped around the edges. There is an etched Antec logo on both the top and bottom. There are 6 foam pads for anti-vibration on the rear. There are lighting strips along the top and the bottom with a frosted housing to distribute the light evenly, which we will look at shortly. The fans themselves are 120mm fans with 11 blades that provide a very impressive amount of airflow thanks to its aggressively angled fan blade design, and those fluid dynamic bearings ensure smooth silent rotations. The fans spin at 1800 RPM, and even at this speed they are practically silent. They also manage to move around an impressive 77 cubic feet per minute when at full speed, meaning they actually perform much better than a lot of its single unit competitors. Thanks to the way that it is designed, the Matrix is a much more efficient and effective performer. The main reason for the Matrix design is that it fits perfectly onto a 240mm radiator and sits flush at all sides, which in turn eliminates any dead spots and maximises air draw to the radiator to cool the fluid in your system. Being one single unit also means that you only need 4 screws to secure it in place, and as mentioned before, just for one cable to supply power and LED lighting. They're not made only for radiators however, as they can be mounted onto your case as a case fan for maximum performance too. Thanks to its modern design, edgy aesthetics, and highly practical cable management, it can quickly become a key part of your build. It certainly won't look out of place and will add an extra level of premium to your setup. Which now turns us to the lighting of a Matrix, and this is set up by simply inserting this PWM ARGB connector here, and then on the controller inserting the PWM fan header into number 1, and likewise with the ARGB LED headers too. To provide the power to the unit you simply connect your SATA power into the end, and then as you see here you get movement in the fans and a light show too. The lights run across the top and bottom of the bands of frosted housings and they look very effective. There is also a light underneath the Antec logo on the top and bottom which gives a very premium feel to it all. Changing through the lighting modes is super simple, as all you need to do is press the mode button to cycle through the light modes, and then LED speed button does exactly what it says on the tin and changes the speed from slow, medium through to fast. The LEDs are very vibrant, bright and colourful, something that is often difficult to catch on camera. But as you can see here, they are certainly very visually striking. There are many lighting modes available via the controller too, as you can see here. And that pretty much wraps up this review of the Prizm Matrix Dual Fans by Antec. They are a very interesting solution to a problem we never even knew existed until now, and it's clear to see how much of an improvement the design can bring to your setup. With very competitive performance, high CFM, high RPM, low energy and simple setup, they are a very difficult product to compete with. What's more is that the included controller can allow you to add up to an additional 4 units to each side, meaning you could effectively run your entire lighting and fans via this controller. You can also sync the Matrix up to the RGB lighting of your system using software suites such as ASUS AuraSync, MSI's Mystic Light Sync, Gigabyte's RGB Fusion, and ASRock's Polychrome Sync to fully extend your lighting effects across the entirety of your build. Naturally, as mentioned before, this will only work on certain capable boards. However, you can sync the lighting up through the controller if you connect everything together on this, so all is not lost. Thanks to its fantastic build quality, premium materials, smooth lighting modes, clutter-free cable management, symmetrical design, high performance, high CFM and low noise, the Prizm Matrix has fast become one of my all-time favourite fan setups. Naturally, it's hard to compare it to most fans when you consider that you have slightly limited capability of where you can place the Matrix compared to a single fan. But with that said, it is still a fantastic addition to your system, and considering it comes in at just £49.99 at the time of this review at Scan Computers, it's a very good value too. We have no choice but to award it our most prestigious Gadget Joe Platinum Award of 5 stars. What's more is I'm very happy to award it our Breakthrough Product Award for its ingenuity and practicality. As always, if you wish to get your hands on your very own Prizm Matrix, I will of course drop a link below to where you can get it. Make sure to click that subscribe button too, as in the next few days we are releasing a full build video showcasing the Matrixes in use. And that's it from me for now, and I'll see you in the next video.